Next on GH, Michael ponders a big decision, Drew lays out his plan, and Trina has a heart-to-heart with Jocelyn. In addition to Michael pondering a big decision, General Hospital spoilers for Wednesday, July 16, 2025, will also focus on Drew laying out his plan and Curtis stonewalling Stella. Michael and Drew's actions are intertwined. One can't execute a plot or plan without affecting the other. First, Michael ponders a big decision. Is this decision about Sasha leaving town with Daisy to get away from whoever's stalking them? He's so broken up about having to say goodbye to Daisy. Does he have another decision he's thinking about? Meanwhile, Drew lays out his plan, which is undoubtedly diabolical given the way he's acting these days. Is this plan about getting back at all of his enemies who have been fighting him at every turn? Maybe it's about getting Amelia and Wiley back for Willow, and then making Michael pay for not compromising. Not that Drew was willing to compromise. His and Willow's compromise involved letting Michael have the kids every other weekend and 2 weeks during the summer or something like that. It also involved him and his new wife, potentially moving to DC. What kind of compromise is that? Teasers suggest Jason has a tough conversation. Isn't that all he has been having as of late? He just had a tough chat with Lulu about no longer talking to Rocco about his version of Britt Westbourne. He and Sonny have been having tough interactions regarding this whole Sidwell situation. Who is the person involved in his next tough conversation? Meanwhile, Trina has a heart-to-heart with Jocelyn, most likely over her recent tough conversation with Kai. Ms. Robinson has a lot to figure out, and maybe she wants Joss's advice on what to do. Kai betrayed her and her family, and she feels she can no longer trust the former football player. How does Joss advise Trina? Finally, tough conversation number 3 features Curtis and Stella. Normally, you wouldn't think Curtis and Stella's chat would be tough, but when Curtis stonewalls Stella, what is this all about? Is he unwilling to tell her the specifics of how he and Kai had a falling out? Stella likes Kai, but she loves Curtis, and she doesn't trust Drew. So if Kai and Drew are the topic of this verbal exchange, then hopefully, Curtis will come clean and then stand back and let Stella unleash the exact right words he needs to hear. Hello everyone! Welcome back to my channel, Messy Syrup. It's me, Abby, here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching, so let's dive into today's video. General Hospital spoilers recap for Monday, July 14th reveals that Jason Morgan held Marco Rios captive, while Gen Z's Sidwell threatened Professor Henry Hank Dalton over a project delay. At the church, Lucy Coe supported Sidwell at Natalia Ramirez's memorial and defended Sonny a bit, but Sidwell acted like no one could rule anything out. Meanwhile, Alexis Davis visited Marco and worked to convince him that Sonny had nothing to do with Natalia's demise. Despite Lucas Jones's many texts, Marco didn't answer them as he spoke with Alexis, and ultimately prepared for Natalia's memorial. At GH, Isaiah Gannon picked up on the tension between Lucas and Willow Tate, so he forced them to put their personal issues aside and focus on working together. After Willow went on a tirade about Michael Corinthos, Isaiah seemed taken aback since he'd never heard her talk like that. Willow insisted Michael drove her to all of it and flashed back to when she moved Daisy Gilmore from her crib. At Carly Spencer's house, Michael gave Carly and Sonny updates on Sasha Gilmore Corbin deciding to leave town with Daisy. Once Sonny heard what happened, he worried someone was proving they could get to his granddaughter. Although Sonny offered protection around the clock, Michael supported Sasha's choice to leave Port Charles. As soon as Daisy got her vaccines and checkup at GH, Michael explained that Jason would handle getting Sasha and the baby out of town. At home, Anna Devane dealt with a chaotic morning involving Outback chewing her shoe, Emma Scorpio Drake's damage control, and Giovanni Gio Palmieri's accidental breakfast theft. Anna also ordered a background check on Vaughn and voiced her suspicions to Felicia Scorpio about him. Once Vaughn's background check came back squeaky clean, that was a red flag for Anna. In Jack Brennan's office, Vaughn and Jocelyn Jacks met with him about Anna's rising suspicions. Brennan knew Anna would be digging around and would get even more suspicious over Vaughn's perfectly clean record. Brennan instructed Jocelyn and Vaughn to become the most convincing couple that Port Charles had ever seen. There was also some talk about a messenger who was physically delivering info from Professor Dalton to his employer. Brennan said if they found that messenger, they were in. At Lulu Spencer's house, she warned Jason that he couldn't talk to Rocco Falconeri about Britt Westbourne again. Jason pointed out there were two versions of Britt, including the one he knew who had changed by the end of her life. That said, Jason was willing to respect Lulu's wishes and not speak with Rocco about Britt. After Jason left, Alexis sought Lulu's help finding out who wrote the hit piece on Sunny, so Lulu quickly got on board. By the pool, Danny Morgan gushed over Daisy's cute outfit as she enjoyed some time in Sasha's arms. Rocco also approached Sasha at one point, so they talked about babies recognizing their mom's voices after hearing them in the womb. Later, Willow glared at Michael, Sasha, and Daisy as they shared a sweet family moment while arriving at the hospital. Back at the pool, Dalton grumbled over the poor service since Danny and Rocco took so long getting his towels. When Dalton found Outback on his chair, he lashed out again and felt the boys should lose their jobs. Emma rushed to Rocco and Danny's defense since Outback was her dog. To make it up to Professor Dalton, Emma volunteered to take some things off his plate. Despite not scoring the research assistant gig, Dalton took Emma up on the offer and left, so Emma told Gio, Rocco, and Danny about his history of animal testing and planned to take him down. Next, Professor Dalton headed to the church and found Sidwell, who indicated that their mutual friend was growing impatient, and neither of them were happy about Dalton's progress. He's sending a courier next week to get some answers about what is taking so long. Now, if you don't have them, there'll be hell to pay, Sidwell warned Dalton. Since Lucas couldn't get in touch with Marco, he got Carly to let him in Marco's hotel suite. There was no sign of Marco inside, so Lucas grew even more fearful about bad news. As for Marco, he was already being held captive following an abduction that Sunny clearly ordered. Marco banged on the door hoping for help, but Jason just stood outside looking pensive. Sidwell was expecting Marco to join him at the church for Natalia's memorial, but Sunny showed up instead and announced that Marco wasn't coming. General Hospital spoilers say Sunny and Sidwell have another fierce showdown ahead, so stay tuned. General Hospital spoilers reveal that Britt Westbourne could be the courier who's being sent to Professor Henry Hank Dalton. Is Britt the answer to Jack Brennan's messenger question? The July 14th episode offered some crucial clues about what's ahead in Professor Dalton's storyline. Let's start with Brennan's end of things, since he's determined that a messenger is physically delivering information from Dalton to his employer. During Brennan's strategy session with Vaughn and Jocelyn Jacks, he stressed the importance of finding and identifying this messenger. Meanwhile, Sidwell scolded Dalton over his stalled progress and pointed to another party's involvement. There's a different male baddie who seems to be in charge, so he's sending a courier to get answers about why Dalton's project is taking so long. This courier is set to meet with Dalton next week, so that could explain why Britt will appear at the airport in the July 18th episode. Will Britt be traveling so she can carry out her courier duties during the week of July 21st to 25? GH spoilers say Jason will get caught off guard on July 18th as well. And we know from the latest weekly preview video that he'll indeed face a Britt airport shocker. It all adds up for Britt to be serving as the courier Sidwell mentioned, who is presumably the messenger Brennan talked about too. Of course, the show hasn't confirmed yet whether Kelly Thiebaud is truly playing Britt or another character who looks just like her. Either way, Jason will certainly seem like he's seen a ghost once this airport sighting happens. You can bet Jason will have plenty of questions about whether this is really Britt and how she might have survived despite getting scratched by Heather Weber's poisoned hook. Who will Jason tell about this Britt mystery he ends up pondering? Will Jason do some investigating and ultimately get updates on the whole truth? General Hospital spoilers say Jason has some surprising news ahead of him, so don't miss all the curveballs he'll face. There is no sign of Spencer returning from the dead on General Hospital, so for those missing Nicholas Alexander Chavez, it was exciting to hear that he had landed a role in the sequel to I Know What You Did Last Summer, as first reported by our sister site Deadline back in November 2024. However, there's since been bigger news that Chavez's part in the film has been scraped. People learned that the former ABC soap fave, along with Lola Tung, will not be seen in the July 18th release. Director Jennifer Katin Robinson told the magazine that though the actors were planned to kick off the opener, the scene ended up not fitting with the film. "This is a fantastic scene, but it doesn't fit in the movie," said Robinson, who also assured it had nothing to do with Chavez and Tung, and added, "I loved working with them. They did a fabulous job. But in the larger tapestry of the film, it just didn't fit." The 1997 film, which starred Freddie Prinze Jr., Jennifer Love Hewitt, Sarah Michelle Gellar, and Ryan Phillippe, surrounded four friends who were stalked by a hook-wielding maniac following a tragic accident. A year later, the sequel, I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, was released, followed by the 2006 direct-to-video movie, which didn't feature any of the original cast. Speaking of original cast members, Prince Jr. will return for the latest installment, and Hewitt is currently in talks for a comeback. Chase Suey Wonders, Madeline Klein, Sarah Pidgeon, Tariq Withers, and Jonah Hoare-King have also been cast. Stay tuned for its July 18, 2025 release date. General Hospital spoilers tease that Liesl Obrecht loved her daughter Britt Westbourne more than life. She surely would have given her own if it meant that her Britta would live. Alas, that's not what happened. However, there could be a big, fat, juicy soap twist ahead, so fasten your seatbelts, fans, as we dive into the mysterious circumstances of the Britch. We know that Kelly Thibault has an epic comeback story that springs to life this summer. In fact, she will be seen on the canvas before the end of July, so we don't have much longer to wait. What we do have to wait for is the discovery of who her character is, Britt or someone else. The devil is in the details, as they say, and the details of the Britch are colorful. Britt was killed by Heather Weber's poison hook, so there has got to be a fascinating explanation for her return from the dead if that's what the writers have planned. Okay, get ready for this, GH fans. Was Britt cloned? Before you get spicy, there was a clone story on Guiding Light, with Reva cloned into a doppelganger named Dolly. The audience didn't take kindly to the sci-fi plot, so we'll see if GH is really going there in 2025. The clone theory has to do with Professor Henry Hank Dalton, the mad scientist, and his research lab. As long as braying Emma Scorpio is not cloned by the dozen, we're fine. GH may chose a more classic route for Thibault's character, soapy amnesia. If Britt herself comes back to town, she could have amnesia or be a victim of a memory experiment, a device plot that GH has a penchant for. Already, we have Jason Morgan remembering how much Britt changed over time. So if she can't remember her past crimes, would fans accept a rehabbed Britch? Britt is being mentioned right now in relation to her stealing embryonic Rocco Falconeri, which sounds like something her mom would do. Has Liesl had Britt on ice all these years, waiting for the right time to hit defrost? On July 9, 2025, the National Academy for Television, Arts and Sciences announced its nominees for the 52nd Annual Daytime Emmys. This year's ceremony is set to take place on October 17th in Pasadena, California. Amongst the recognitions, General Hospital received a staggering 16 nominations for writing, directing, technical, acting, and outstanding drama series. Nancy Lee Grahn received a nomination for Outstanding Lead Actress for her portrayal of Alexis Davis. She has 12 previous nominations and 2 wins for Outstanding Supporting Actress. After the nominations were announced, Grahn took to her social media to show her gratitude and give a shout-out to daytime television. In her Instagram post, she wrote, "Always grateful for a sweet nod. However, cheers to all my fellow actors nominated or not. This acting medium is not for sissies. Daytime television actors and crew work without a net. 130 pages of dialogue, 60 or more scenes with 1 quick rehearsal a day. We shoot sometimes up to 8 HR shows in 5 days. Proud to be a member of this community." Alexis Davis first came to Port Charles in 1996. She is the daughter of Mikos Kassadine and his mistress, Kristen Bergman. When she was young, Mikos' wife, Helena Kassadine, slit Kristen's throat in front of Alexis. She has survived the Kassadines, her arch-nemesis, Helena Kassadine, explosions, attacks, accidents, being held hostage multiple times, losing her sister, lung cancer, encephalitis, kidnapping, druggings, extortion, alcoholism, disbarment, and so much more. Though she is widely viewed as an upstanding citizen and lawyer with strong convictions, she has also committed more than her fair share of crimes. From illegally altering records, to blackmail, to killing Luis Alcazar, and faking DID to get out of it, to killing Kiefer Bauer in a hit-and-run to extortion, Alexis proves she can lean into her Cassadine roots when she needs to. 2024 was a particularly devastating year for Alexis, as her two younger daughters, Christina Corinthos Davis and Molly Lansing Davis, were in a brutal battle over the devastating loss of their baby. Her life went from bad to worse when she unexpectedly lost her eldest daughter, Sam McCall, who was murdered by Cyrus Renault after she donated her kidney to Lulu Spencer. Alexis' final scenes, in which she held Sam's lifeless body in her hospital bed, were heartbreakingly devastating. Grand's performance was emotionally raw and gut-wrenching to watch, but each moment served as a beautiful tribute to the many years she and Kelly Monaco played mother and daughter. Nancy Lee Grahn has numerous TV credits to her name, but she began her daytime soap opera career as Beverly Wilkes on One Life to Live in 1980. In 1985, she joined the cast of Santa Barbara to portray Julia Wainwright Capwell, and finally, she originated the role of Alexis Davis on General Hospital in 1996. Alexis is intelligent with a sardonic wit and neurotic, yet still fiercely strong and resilient. Nancy Lee Grahn's powerful and nuanced portrayal of her is consistently authentic and pitch-perfect. Her thoughtful approach and exceptional performance have made Alexis Davis one of General Hospital's most important and enduring characters. Click the Discuss button to the left or at the top of the page to join in the conversation and catch new episodes of General Hospital on ABC and Hulu. Want more General Hospital? Be sure to check out The Scoop for spoilers, daily recaps, 2 Scoops for weekly commentary, the Daily YAPP, and the General Hospital page for the best of the week and more features on Soap Central. General Hospital spoilers hint that Monica Quartermain's long-lost sister may rock Port Charles. Has Erica Slezak's new character been revealed? When the news broke about Slezak joining GH and making a fall debut, the show was careful to keep her role under wraps. Fans were left wondering if Slezak might reprise the part of One Life to Live's Victoria Vicky Lord Buchanan, or if she'd be playing someone completely new instead. There's no confirmation on her character just yet, but Daytime Confidential's insider report points to Erica Slezak portraying Monica's long-lost sister. It certainly looks like Monica's surprise sis could come blowing into Port Charles and throw the Quartermains, especially Tracy Quartermain, for a loop. Since Leslie Charlson passed away back in January, the show will eventually give Monica a fatal exit, memorial, and proper goodbye. Of course, that'd be a good time for a long-lost sister to suddenly appear. This sister may show up wanting a piece of the Quartermain pie that Monica leaves behind. Regardless, Slezak's character could turn into a new sparring partner for Tracy and shake things up. We might see Monica's long-lost sister cause a dispute over her will and launch another round of typical Quartermain chaos. Viewers are eager to see Leslie Charlson and her beloved character get the send-off she deserves. It's taking a little time for Monica's farewell episodes to hit the screen, but they're sure to be emotional and deliver a wonderful tribute. From there, perhaps the show can use Monica's demise to jumpstart some new fall drama. That's exactly what'll happen if Slezak is playing Monica's long-lost sister, like sources are claiming. Are you looking forward to Erica Slezak's debut? How do you feel about Monica potentially getting an unexpected relative who throws the Quartermain clan into turmoil? No matter how it all goes down, some twists and turns are brewing in Slezak's upcoming arc. We'll pass along updates as Slezak's first airdate gets closer, so stick with us for all the latest character details. General Hospital spoilers say the Qs should have more problems to contend with by the time autumn rolls around. Tarot cards? Anyone? After Michael dropped the latest bombshell on his ex-wife, Willow proved she must be hypnotized by Drew during the July 15, 2025 episode of General Hospital. Willow hasn't done anything short of spiraling since Michael was granted full custody of the kids. Not only did she almost immediately agree to marry Drew, but she declared she's going to give Michael a taste of his own medicine by stalking Daisy. But after running into Michael, Daisy, and Sasha at GH, Willow acted worse than ever before. When Michael informed her that he contacted the court and got the hearing moved to October, Willow immediately threw insults his way as she played the victim. She assured him she's marrying Drew and warned Sasha that Michael will take Daisy from her the same way he took Wiley and Amelia from her. Willow's behavior isn't just narcissistic, it's a downright 180 from the person she used to be. As Willow ran into Drew's arms to cry about not seeing her kids for the next 3 months, it just nearly proved the hold Drew has over her. Kids were a big topic across Port Charles today, not just with Michael and Willow, but with Sonny and Sidwell. Sonny finally put Sidwell in his place, ordering him to end all support of Measure C in exchange for Marco's freedom. Of course, the growing mob war didn't stop Lucas from threatening to take Sonny down if he didn't bring Marco home safe and sound. Do you think Willow will go to drastic measures to retaliate against Michael? Let us know in the comments section. Check out 7 interests facts about Adrian Anchondo. Adrian Anchondo has been in the thick of things on General Hospital since debuting as Marco Rios, son of mobster Jen Sidwell and the late Natalia Ramirez, new attorney at Miller & Davis, and paramour of Lucas Jones. Although the Los Angeles native is a newcomer to soaps, he has some significant primetime credits under his belt. He recurred as Hector Suarez on Rebel in 2017, and has also made appearances on The Rookie, Law & Order, Organized Crime, and How to Get Away with Murder, working opposite the series star, Viola Davis, on the latter. Want to know more about the actor? Here are 7 things to know about Adrian Anchondo. 1. Anchondo's late mother was a big daytime fan who regularly tuned in to both GH and The Young and The Restless. As a child, he remembers her sitting on the couch and putting on her makeup in a compact so she could watch the 2 soaps while getting ready for work. 2. It's possible that his mom's compact may have played a part in Anchondo landing the role of Marco. He tucked it in his pocket and brought it along to his GH screen test as a good luck charm of sorts. Apparently, it worked because he got the job. 3. Did you know that he knew his GH love interest, Van Hansen, long before they started working together on the soap? According to Anchondo, the pair first met some 20 years ago at the Williamstown Theater Festival. "I think we did a play with each other," he revealed in an interview with TV Insider. "It's funny because I remember having a little crush on him back then, and we've been in the same circles because we have mutual friends." 4. Anchondo and his friend, Reggie White, created Drunken Love, a parody of Beyoncé's Drunken Love in 2014. Since then, he's created other music parodies like Please Go Home, a hilarious take on Sam Smith's Stay With Me that stars Danny Franzese. Anchondo writes, directs, produces, edits, and performs in all of his videos. You can check out his YouTube channel here. 5. He's a man of many talents. He holds a Bachelor of Science in Elementary Education and a Master of Arts in Marriage and Family Therapy. "I'm also a professional actor, a comedy writer, a director, a bartender, a soon-to-be children's book author, and most importantly, I am a kind and giving person," he shared on his Facebook page. "I'm proud of myself for getting here after all I've been through. I'm proud of myself for making people in need more important than my wants." 6. He's a devoted dad to his dog, Mochi. Anchondo has posted numerous photos of himself and his canine bestie on Instagram, along with an adorable video of their father and son love fest, which you can watch here. 7. In addition to his television work, Anchondo has also appeared in several films. In 2019, he played Johnny Dakota in Medias Res. The following year, he was cast as Riley in the 2020 movie After. Maurice Benard welcomed a fellow General Hospital co-star on his State of Mind podcast this weekend, none other than Laura Wright, who plays Carly Spencer. She opened up about her early career, personal life, and the decisions that shaped her successful daytime TV journey. Did you know that Laura Wright almost didn't take the role of Carly Spencer? In fact, she nearly turned it down. At the time, she was still playing Cassie Winslow on Guiding Light, and the idea of moving across the country made her hesitate. There were also contract issues with CBS, leaving her unsure about committing to GH. On the State of Mind podcast, she explained that she initially declined the role. However, a call from executive producer Jill Farron-Phelps changed everything. Wright recalled Jill saying, "I'm not letting you turn this down," and encouraged her to try something new. That conversation became the push she needed. Maurice Benard and Laura also discussed her early years, long before she became a Port Charles icon. Wright worked 4 jobs at one point. Like many struggling actors, she took on shifts at a gas station and even a tanning salon. "It wasn't an easy time," she admitted. "I didn't know how I was going to make it, but I just kept going." The gas station was run by her dad, who didn't want her waiting tables, but she always wanted to pursue theater and loved studying it in school. She added, "I sold pretzels at RFK Stadium before taking up work with Jane's Information Group, where she sold books over the phone." A crisis in London. Her family life came up as well. Laura shared how her daughter was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes while they were in London. It seemed terrifying, but fortunately, it worked out because Finola Hughes came to the rescue. "My daughter was on vacation in London and was really struggling," Wright recalled. "I could tell something was wrong. She had been there for weeks, and when I saw her, she looked so thin. She just kept saying, 'I don't know what's going on.'" Luckily, Finola Hughes was in London, and there, her brother and sister-in-law both worked as doctors. Laura reached out, and Finola, whose flight had just been cancelled, sprang into action. After hearing the symptoms, Finola's sister-in-law urgently advised, "Get her to an emergency room right now. It's diabetes." At the hospital, heat stroke patients filled the wards, and Laura's daughter was initially turned away as non-urgent. But once tested elsewhere, her blood sugar was off the charts, leading to an immediate diagnosis and life-saving insulin treatment. "Thank God for Finola," Wright said. The conversation also touched on Laura's current project, Sacred Space. It's a Zoom-based series where people gather for raw, honest discussions. She described it as a way to foster connection and find peace in an often overwhelming world. Maurice Benard said to her, "Take me on a spiritual journey." The real-life Sonny Corinthos noted that she's helping a lot of people. Of course, he was talking about Sacred Space. If you don't know, Laura takes it very seriously. She explained, "I'm doing a lot of work on this right now. I've been really thinking about what is a sacred space for me. I really want to take Sacred Space on the road because I love being with people in a room. I think that's where things really happen." Laura Wright told Maurice Benard that while the Zooms are great, she's given thought to how she might do spaces in real life. She doesn't want to stand on a stage somewhere and tell someone I'm going to change their lives. And in time, if she takes it on the road, she might be able to help people find a way to change their lives. So stay tuned for more about that. You just never know what Drew's going to do next. The General Hospital spoilers video for Tuesday, July 15th, 2025, is full of questions, threats, and propositions. When Drew tells Carly, his refusal to compromise is going to cause him more misery than you can ever imagine, that's a direct threat toward her son. Drew won't stop until Michael gives Willow what she wants, but knowing Carly, she'll figure out a way to stand in the way of it. Meanwhile, Willow asks, "Michael, what have you done?" When she runs into her ex-husband at the hospital. He just brought Daisy for a checkup, and although Michael has done nothing wrong in this entire situation, what could Willow be blaming him for this time? Over at the Querder-Main mansion, Tracy will say, "I have a proposition for you." She could be talking to a number of people. Brooke Lynn about deception, Curtis about taking down Drew, or even Gio about giving his mom a chance. When a concerned Lucas finds Jason, he'll be so certain he was involved in Marco's disappearance that he'll declare, "His blood will be on your hands." Jason will most likely be very stone-cold about the matter, but that may not stop Lucas from searching for his missing boyfriend. "You got your son into this, get him out!" Sonny will warn Sidwell, as Marco can be heard pleading, "Get me out of here!" This mob war just became official now that the two mobsters traded Christina's firebomb incident for a kidnapped son. General Hospital spoilers suggest Sasha Gilmore Corbin is desperate to find the right answer to the problem laid out before her. She doesn't want to be in Port Charles anymore. To be honest, she felt this way during her pregnancy too. Her whole plan originally was to leave town and have her child. never revealing that Daisy Corinthos Gilmore was Michael Corinthos' child. Of course, that ship has sailed, but since then, Sasha has come to feel like family at the Quartermain mansion, and she loves her job. Still, any threat to Daisy's safety must be prioritized, and Sasha sees the best option after the July 4th kidnapping as being she and her baby starting over somewhere else. Michael may be intent on coming with her, but she doesn't want to disrupt Amelia and Wiley Corinthos' lives. Is that where Nina Reeves comes in? Sasha's postpartum anxiety, heightened by her past loss of Liam Mike Corbin and the July 4th scare, pushes her to protect Daisy at all costs. Michael's plan to uproot his kids and join her clashes with her wish to keep Amelia and Wiley's lives stable. Suspecting she can't sway Michael alone, Sasha might approach Nina, perhaps in a hushed meeting, asking her to alert Willow about his relocation plans. Nina, eager to reinforce her bond with Willow, could see this as a chance to help, but her history of meddling raises risks. Will Sasha's trust in Nina spark a chain reaction, or save Daisy? Nina's decision to tell Willow might push her to fight Michael's move, leveraging her feelings since she lost custody of her kids. But Nina's involvement could unravel if Willow, already volatile, suspects Sasha's motives or learns of Nina's secrets. If Carly Spencer or Jason Morgan catch wind, they might question Sasha's judgment, straining her bond with Michael. Will Nina's actions stop Michael's plans or ignite a firestorm that leaves Sasha isolated, regretting her choice to lean on her? Sasha is taking a leap by trusting Nina with this kind of sensitive information. Shedding light on her unwillingness to uproot Michael's kids could inadvertently paint a picture that Sasha thinks Michael isn't putting Amelia and Wiley's needs first, even though it's only fair that he would also prioritize the safety of his new child. Could this give Willow leverage to go back to court and suggest that her children should be with her versus being forced to move away from everyone they love and the only home they've ever known? Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Your opinions matter, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.